Good evening. Welcome to Vibin with Ashley Live. I'm your host, Ashley Live. Thank you all for joining me on this beautiful Sunday evening. It's been quite a week here, quite a week with everything politic-wise, but we're going to have some fun tonight. I'm going to bring into the room the beautiful powerhouse, Cedrice. For those of you who don't know Cedrice, she is from season 18 of The Voice, and we're going to do a performance, we're going to do an interview, and then we're going to do a Q&A for anybody in this room who has questions for Cedrice. So thank you guys for joining me. David, Rebecca, thank you for spending your Sunday night with me, because you could be anywhere in the world, but you decided to come and vibe with Ashley Live. So I definitely appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. So we're going to hang tight for Cedrice and bring her into the room whenever she is ready. Okay, I'm going to see if I can invite her in. Give me just a second. I'm going to try to invite Cedrice in. There she is. She just popped in the room.
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. So I was just introducing you to the room, to the Vibin with Ashley live crew, and telling people they didn't know who you are. They should, because you were just on The Voice and you are a powerhouse singer. You're a singer, songwriter, actress, motivational speaker. Am I forgetting of the wonderful things that you've accomplished?
Oh, thank you. Just, doing all the stuff in the arts, trying to be happy and express myself. So.
Wonderful. We'll take it away. You're going to start with the performance, and yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. I'm going to sing a couple of songs. One song that I'm going to sing is just a feel-good song. This is called You Gotta Be, and it's like a really good throwback from back in the 90s. So
Let's do it.
I have my boyfriend join me. Matt? Okay, here we go.
Hello.
Yeah.
Should I have a minute? Should I?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Oh.
Good to see your face if they hear you. Are you going to sing? You're probably going to be tempted to
I'll
sing.
be here. I'll be here.
So
Hi, guys.
it's awkward if you can't see
Let me
you.
close my chest.
That's how I met him. And I brought him back with me to San Diego, so
Oh my God.
it's all good stuff. It's all good
I didn't know
stuff.
I should have
Oh, you guys are so cute.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Listen as your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds. Try and keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears. Go ahead, release your fears. My, oh my. your father's red. Try to solve the puzzles in your closely tied. Some may have more cash than you, others take a different view. My, oh my, yeah. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know is never say the day. Don't ask no questions, goes on without you. Leaving you behind if you can't stand the pace. The world keeps on spinning, can't stop the feeling we try to. This hardest thing just staring you in the face. Listen as your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds. Try and keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears. Go ahead, release your fears. My, oh my, yeah, yeah. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know is never say the day. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know is love will save the day.
Beautiful. Thank you for going back with a throwback. I haven't heard that song in forever.
I know, right? It's been a while.
It's a song.
It's a
It
good
is,
song.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do one of my originals. I just came out with it. It's called Room to Grow. So I'll sing that one. It's by me, Cedrice, and Mark Pelly. So it's a little duet. We have it on Spotify, YouTube, and all that good stuff. So this is Room to Grow. I can mean the bass now. I can demystify you. Show you where I came from. I reason with your insecurities. While you take your love, I gotta make it feel good. No conditions to my game. It's okay for you to say no. You don't owe me anything. My word is all we can give it room, give it room to grow. We don't need to be alone. Everything I want, love, but wanting you is all that I can give. I wanna take the time to figure out another way to live. And I promise you, there's nothing like a real thing. You know I don't wanna let you go because I love the way you love me. Maybe we should try to take it slow. My word is all that I've got. I wanna be someone try. We can give it room to grow. We don't need to be alone. Yeah, we can give it room to grow. We don't need to be
gorgeous. Chat,
Thank you.
thank you guys so much. You guys are so adorable, such good energy, tons of smiles over there. It's like your energy, we're on different coasts. You're in California, I'm in New York, but I just feel the energy in the room I'm in. So thank you for, of course, of course.
Great. He's doing the floss over there.
I love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course. So let's start from the beginning. You're from San Diego. Tell me a little bit about how music came into your life and how old were you when that happened?
I think, my aunt, when I was a kid, she was the one who really introduced me to performing. I mean, I always music was there, but she was the one that really pushed me. So whenever she came out from LA, she was like, Cedrice, go ahead, sing for me. Cedrice, sing for me. Come on. I have a friend over. Come on, sing for me now. And that's just kind of how I got into singing and how I just kind of developed a passion for it, because it was just this fun thing that happened whenever Auntie Sandra came out. So I think that's when I was introduced. And I think I was between like 5 or 6 years old, maybe even younger. So that's kind of when I was introduced. And yeah, and then I didn't start singing professionally until I was 24 years old.
Wow, 24.
Yeah.
That's
I always kind of kept it.
Yeah, it was always there. It was in your spirit. It just needed to come out.
Exactly.
So growing up, you constantly listened to the first Christina Aguilera album. Which song from her album resonated with you the most?
There was a song, I don't even know what it's called. She's a somebody, I think it's probably called Somebody, where somebody, someone. So she's like, I want to be somebody. I want to be someone somebody trusts, and I want to have that partner. And I think for all the way up until I met this guy, I've kind of been like, I want somebody. I want to be that person for someone, or I want to have that person. I think everyone can relate to that, but especially when I was a little kid, I just thought that was so cool. Romance is just such a huge thing on TV, even back then in the 90s. So that was something that I listened to all the time.
You spoke it into existence, and then you spoke Matt into your life.
I literally did, though. Right before I went to Miami, I was like, I think this is it for me.
No.
I just knew.
I love that. That's so powerful. So what song do you wish you wrote, and why?
Yeah, there's like basically every Sarah Bareilles song ever written, I wish I wrote it. Because she just has this gift of, she's actually one of my favorite songwriters, Sarah Bareilles. And she just has this gift to kind of write theatrically, in the way that you can just close your eyes, listen to her lyrics, and just imagine where she is and what the situation is. And she reflects her personality and her sass so well, and her attitude so well. And I really love that. Tori Kelly does the same thing. Like, you could tell they have that little fire inside of them, but they're very, very nice people, like when you meet, so just anything by Sarah Bareilles, honestly. Between the Lines is one of my favorite songs. I really wish I wrote that song, because girl, that got me through a lot of heartbreak in the past.
Yes, and music does that thing to you. Like, there's certain music and you listen to it and it brings you back like 10 or 15 years. You're like, the smell, like what I was going through, what I was wearing, where I was.
Yeah, 100%. And she definitely has the ability to do that with her songs.
So which musicians do you admire other than Sarah Bareilles and Tori Kelly?
I really admire people like Pharrell and Kendrick Lamar. Robert Glasper is just so smooth. He's a piano player. I grew up listening to whatever was on the radio, and that included Christina Aguilera. My aunt actually gave me that album. That was like my first album. But, growing up, I didn't really listen to a lot of music. When I was in my 20s, I started listening to a lot of neo soul, Lauryn Hill, and and Erykah Badu was like obviously the staple of the neo soul world. But yeah, so those two women were just women that I was really inspired by as well, just because they represent what they sing about. And yeah, I'm sure there's more, but that's what comes up on the top of my head.
Mm-hmm. Salsa dancing holds a very special place in your heart. Talk to me about that love and when that love started for you.
Oh, I don't even know. It's just, I think that's in my genes. My dad really, my dad can really dance. And it's
Mm-hmm.
nothing professional or anything. It's just that that's how my body moves. All of my friends, I live in San Diego. There's a lot of Latinas here. And all my friends who are Latino, they're always like, do you have some Spanish in you? Because the way you move is very, very Spanish. So, I like to dance in that way. I like salsa dancing. I like bachata dancing. But I mean, that's just something I like to do on my spare time. That's and then it just so happens that Matt is from Miami. He speaks Spanish. He's, around a lot of that culture. So naturally he likes to salsa dance as well. That's just something that he and I like to do together. So.
That's so fun. It's like a little bonding thing. And I can't really dance that well, but I would love to salsa. Cause some people have it and some people don't. Like your friends were like, ooh, like you got it, girl.
Yeah. I know. I would love to take some dancing classes. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be so cool. So in 2017, you spoke at TEDx in San Diego about identity. How did you get involved with TED?
Well, I wasn't looking for it. It just kind of came to me. Honestly, just becoming a singer and trying to feel where I fit in and trying to figure out what my voice is and where, what kind of music I wanted to sing. I just took every gig that I could possibly take. And I took every opportunity to sharpen my tools. So when TED hit me, it was because I had been asked to sing at one of their other events with a friend of mine being like the main poet. So it was like a poet. It was a spoken word piece with like music. And so we had instrumentals, we had or instrumentalists, and then we had interpretive dancers and whatnot. So I had been exposed to it once, like a couple years or maybe a few years before that. And then they called me because they had seen that I was doing quite a lot out in San Diego. So I think it was just a matter of me getting out there and pushing myself to take the opportunities that I had, that they reached out to me.
Yeah, that's so cool. So had you spoken publicly before, or was that one of your first public speaking endeavors?
That was my first time ever.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So many people. TED Talks are like the thing. Like there are so many TED Talks on all these different topics that you can search and and when I saw your TED speech, I was like, wow. Like I thought you'd been doing it like 5-10 years of like the confidence in this girl and just the way you speak and just the poetry behind it. I felt it and it was so powerful and so inspirational.
Thank you. Yeah, performing is definitely a thing that I think I inherited from my family somehow. I'm Black and Filipino, so both of those, cultures like to be in front of the camera. So, but thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was my very first time speaking. I was really nervous. I spent a lot of time prepping with my speech coach, Charmin. She was amazing. So yeah, it took a lot of work.
Yeah, amazing. So what are a few of your favorite songs to perform?
Just anything that makes me feel good at the time.
Mhm.
I don't like to perform too many of the songs too often, too many of the same songs too often. Right now, the song that I really like to perform is Tokyo by Leon Lahavas. She's one of my favorite singers right now. If I Ain't Got You is always a good one. It's always a crowd pleaser.
Of course.
So I guess those two right now. I'll always sing Tokyo and If I Ain't Got You. Yeah.
Great choices. So in 2020, what artists or genres have you been listening to in this past year?
I have not been listening to very many. I'm working on my own music. Yeah, so it's pretty popular for like artists to not really listen to other people's music,
Uh-huh.
unless they're um, unless they're songwriters themselves,
Mhm.
and collaborating with other artists, then they'll listen to that music.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was one of my complications on The Voice, was that I didn't know any pop songs like that are popular now. And a lot
Right.
of the people on The Voice, they were like, I don't really listen, except for what's really put on the radio and you're kind of force fed to listen to. So I don't listen too much. I listen to a lot of instrumentals
Hmm.
on Spotify when I just want to kind of get in the groove. I listen to Afrobeat music where I don't even understand what they're saying. I listen to a lot of Jamaican music.
Hmm.
Um, so I guess that's about it. But I try not to listen too much to other people, because what happens is that when I try to write my own music, I start sounding like them instead of what's naturally inside of me. And
Hmm.
right now I'm in the process of writing an album, so I'm trying to just kind of stay clear of,
Tunnel vision.
yeah.
Yeah, totally. Right. So most recently, you were on season 18 of NBC's hit show, The Voice. What made you want to audition for that show?
I think this time around, this was my third time auditioning in the matter of like 10 years or so. So this time around, I was actually, professionally singing. And as a gigging artist, we're all kind of looking for different gigs to take, whether it's a festival or a tour, and
Mhm.
so I thought of The Voice kind of like a gig, and an opportunity to be challenged, to figure out what I was made out of, so those are the two reasons. I just had gotten off of a tour and I was like, you know what? I think The Voice would be cool. So let me try it. I've tried it before, didn't really
Yeah.
expect anything. And this time I didn't expect anything either. I just had more confidence going in because I already do this for a living. So
Mhm.
that was kind of my attitude about it. And then I got way more than I bargained for. So I'm really grateful for that.
Lots, of
Very
course.
grateful for that. Yeah.
And it's amazing how far you went in that competition. Third time's a charm.
It is. Apparently it is. I guess so.
Definitely. So, what surprised you about the process on The Voice? Was there anything surprising that you didn't really anticipate going in?
Yeah, I didn't expect a lot of the stuff to take so much time. A lot of the filming to take so much. Um, there's a lot of hurry up and wait, and I just didn't expect that at all. I'm very familiar with like TV and how that works, but I didn't expect to be like sitting in a studio for like 8 to 10 hours, just waiting to do like a 20-minute or a 5-minute segment for TV, so that kind of stuff caught me off guard, and I didn't expect to, I did, I didn't prepare for that kind of thing. So I have a healthy diet in the sense that I love to eat a lot during the
Hmm.
day.
Yeah.
So girl, the first time I learned that lesson, that we were going to be in the studio for like 10 hours waiting for something, I was like, okay, I got you. I had my heat. Everyone will tell you I had like a portable heater that I strapped to my stomach because it's so cold in the studio.
Yeah.
All of the equipment is so hot. It's running so much heat. So you have to keep it very cold in there. Um, I had a portable heater up against me. I had my comforter from the hotel. I had
Wow.
a pillow from the hotel because it was freezing. I tell you, I was like, I my lips were purple, my nails were purple. I'm like,
What?
it's freezing. I'm not even over exaggerating.
So,
Sorry.
why do they keep it so cold though?
So with the lights, the cameras, and all the other machines that they had to film, because they have it like set up in sections, and then also the lights and the electricity for the makeup artists and everything. We're all in a
Mm.
huge warehouse, and there's a lot of heat being generated from every single one of those sources, and then a lot of people inside of the studio. So there's a lot of heat, and it's they have to keep it very cold so it doesn't overheat in there. So they ended up keeping the AC on all like, or I don't know how long they ran it. But I didn't know that. So that was the most like serious thing that I was surprised by. I always had a backpack full of food. Like I would have frozen dinners from Trader Joe's because I knew they always had a microwave. Yeah, these are things they don't tell you.
Oh, and you wouldn't know, like when you, for that 20-minute interview, it's like you wouldn't know that like you had a comforter around you.
Right. Oh yeah. I had a furry robe. I had furry slippers. I had a comforter. I had a pillow. I would be sleep like right before I saw John Legend in LMA. I had just come back from like going like this, and like producers were like, okay, Cedrice, like, do you need to sit in the sun? I'm like, yeah, sure. I was not feeling good at all because I had no idea. And they told us, they said, you know, you're going to be sitting here for a long time. So whatever you need, go get it. And to me, I didn't understand what I needed because I'd never been in that situation before. But your girl likes to eat. I love to eat. And so I always had a lot of food.
Good. No, because the thing is, like, yeah, I mean, 8 to 10 hours, of course, that would be what, 2 or 3 meals or some snacks in between. So you need to make sure that you're, you know, well hydrated and you just never know. Wow, that's something I definitely wouldn't expect for it to be so cold that you know, if I was on the show, literally be sitting there. I feel like I'd be with you with like a comforter and a blanket and eat like a little Eskimo.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't have hair. It didn't help. I didn't have any warmth on me, so.
You worked with the legendary James Taylor. Bring us back to that day and what that was like for you.
It was really nice. I did not grow up listening to James Taylor. I didn't grow up listening to a lot of people, like I said. But when I got introduced to performing later on, like at 24, I started listening to more music, and one of his songs, "You've Got a Friend," was like a very popular one, and so I knew of that one going in. So when I went to go see him and Blake, I was really pleased. I had no expectations. I just knew a couple of songs from him, and I just knew that he was a great songwriter from my personal perspective. And so when I went out to meet him, he was just so kind. He was so sweet. And it was one of the most magical days of my life because Blake and James were just, I don't know, they were just so present and so attentive. And they looked at you in your eyes while they spoke to you, and while you were speaking, they were really engaged and just so sincere.
That's beautiful, because when you work in music, you just never know what kind of personality is going to be in that person, right? Like you could have a songwriter next to you or a producer, and that person may not even make eye contact with you. So to have that experience and have them look at you and make you feel loved and help you and guide you through that process is so amazing.
Yeah, it was definitely nice.
How do you think this pandemic will change live music and the music industry in general?
You know what? I've kind of been thinking about that too. I know that right now it's changing in the sense that people are trying to find a find normalcy through all of this, like still releasing music and kind of going on tour a little bit here and there. So people are trying to find some type of normal in this time, but I think once all of this is lifted and we're able to travel and whatnot, a lot of people will be on full go. I think you're going to see a lot of concerts and festivals happening over time, and it'll happen gradually. But I do hope that everyone will kind of keep this in mind, that we're able to use technology now, because I don't think a lot of people on this level were using technology to really engage with people. I know I wasn't, not as much, and so that's cool. But on a grand scheme of things, I don't know. I think a lot of people have seen like the value of music, the value of entertainment and engagement and concerts and all that stuff. It's not just like this. It's not just like a thing that it doesn't matter in our world. It's it's essential to like the quality of our life, and to creating experiences. And some people like you understand that, but
Yeah.
a lot of other people just see it as like, oh yeah, they're just a starving musician, they decided to do that, and whatever, I'm not going to spend a certain amount of money on concerts or anything. But I think that kind of stuff will be in high demand after things are lifted and we're actually able to engage with each other.
Definitely. And it's so important to be creative in this time because like you said, like we didn't really even expect this or anticipate this, but now it's like, oh, like we put content out, like, you know, a lot of people are doing shows and Twitch and just trying to collab with people because it's like you just want to stay engaged and do things that challenge you as a musician.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
So on The Voice, you were fortunate to be on three different teams: Team Kelly, Team Legend, Team Blake. Which team did you enjoy the most and why?
Um, you know, I think every genre has different personalities, right?
Right.
Um, I love my season because we were all able to hang out and get to
Yeah.
know each other and go out to dinner, play video games, play board games. Um, but every time that I moved from John Legend to Blake to Kelly, I always considered the Legend team my family.
Yeah.
Um, and every one of those teams had a different personality.
Hmm.
There were more girls in Kelly Clarkson's team, and although I had to stay home for most of that time, I did get a chance to hang out with them, and they're like more bubbly and more like, I don't know how to explain their 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 energy, but they were all very welcoming for sure.
Like
Um,
feminine and masculine energy are so different.
Say that again.
Feminine and masculine energy.
I don't think it was so much that. I think it was just, as far as the genres go, I think like, I was gonna move on to Blake. So Blake is like this country guy, like actually from the country, likes to hang out on the ranch, you know, and and that group of people, um, Team Blake, Team Shaken Blake is what they called them. They were very like small town homey, you know, like, oh, just prop your feet up and here's some apple pie. And do you want some tea with that apple pie? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, and if you decide to stay over, we have a guest room for you. We set it up already with your name on the door. Like, that's how Team Blake actually feels. Not just because of him, but I think it's because of the genre of people. And then John Legend's team was just, I mean, we're R&B and we're soul, and I'm very familiar with that spectrum of energy and music. So it was just, it felt like home to me. Everybody was just awesome, and like I said, we all got a chance to hang out and spend time together, and it was beautiful. But Legend's my home.
Yes, John Legend. So what's your favorite John Legend song, if you could pick just one?
I know he didn't write it, but he just brought it to life. I think All of Me is a beautiful song. That's one of my favorites from him.
Yes, I completely agree. I mean, he has so many, but that's just one of the tops.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you couldn't do music, what career path would you choose?
I would have been, honestly, I probably would have done something in TV.
Hmm.
I majored in communication and I really wanted to work with film and production. So I would
Hmm.
have done something in TV, whether that was being a news anchor or a creative like director, somewhere in between there. I know that's a very large spectrum, but definitely
But
something in TV. Sorry.
you'd still be in the creative space.
Definitely. Definitely.
Amazing. What's the best advice you've ever been given?
Create a space that allows you to be the person you want to be. That
Hmm.
includes the food that you eat, the people that you hang out with, the things people say to you, the words that you allow into your space. Um, yeah, that was the best advice I've ever been given.
I love it. What advice would you give to musicians during this quarantine?
Yeah, just to take the time, take the time to learn a new craft, whether that's video editing or graphic designing, something that's really going to help you in your field already. Just spend some time doing that. You have nothing but time right now. What else are you doing? So,
So much
yeah.
time. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
If you asked me that about 5 years ago, I wouldn't have said that I could see myself here. So I just know that I really want to continue singing. I want to continue writing songs, but also writing books and writing speeches and all that good stuff. I really want to get into advocating for civil rights. I want to write a children's book and tour and do all of that stuff. I think I have a lot of talents, so I really want to use this lifetime to squeeze those out. And wherever that takes me in 5 years, I'm totally down. But I know it's up from here.
Yes. Oh, I love that. So this is the time to plug everything that you're on, your album coming up, all that good stuff. Plug away.
Yeah. So my name is Cedrice. If you're just joining us, hi Corey, I see you in here. Hi MM Fitness, I see you. Hey Mom in Miami. You can find me on Spotify, on iTunes, YouTube. I have a YouTube channel called The Golden Hour. I have a couple of vlogs on there if you'd want to check it out. But check me out on YouTube at Miss Cedrice, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Miss Cedrice. And you can visit my website, cedricemusic.com, or my other website, link in my bio, misscedrice.com.
Wonderful. So now is going to be the time where we open up the room to questions. So if there's anybody in the chat that has questions for Cedrice, put them down in the chat.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Ashley, for having me.
Yes, of course. Thank you for taking the time. I know you've been so busy and so creative, and I really appreciate you spending your Sunday evening with me.
Thanks. Yeah, it is Sunday already. Oh my gosh. It's crazy.
No, it's like day is like, what day is it? What time is it?
Yeah, I don't even, yeah, 6:38. Yeah. Cool. Well, I don't know if you have any questions, but I don't see anything right here.
I don't see anything yet, but there is a little bit of a delay because we have, any more new songs in the works?
Yes, I have a song coming out. It could be this month, it could be next month, but it's most likely next month. I have a new song coming out with Mark Kelly. The song that I came out with, Room to Grow. That one is just like, it's going to be paired with Don't Go. That's the next song. We filmed the music video in Vegas, quarantine edition. So it's just me and him. It's pretty easy. So I'm excited about that one. That one's more moody. It's a break, it's not really a breakup song. It's just saying don't go, but it's very straightforward, nothing too crazy. I have that song coming out this year, and then I will be having an album coming out next year. So,
yay! So stay tuned for that. Yes, the album is dropping soon, and we have like 2 more months left in this year, and then we're in 2021. So it's going to be here before we know it.
2 months.
Where did this year go? You play any instruments?
Oh man. I took Spanish guitar class and I took piano class, and it just has not stuck. My boyfriend plays guitar. He just asked me right before I went live with you. He was like, "Do you still want those guitar lessons? When you first meet each other, you're like, "Oh, I can give you singing lessons. Oh, I can give you guitar lessons. Okay, great." These are reasons for us to hang out. And so I did a couple lessons with him, and I just haven't stuck with it. So I play a little bit here and there, but nothing crazy. I really need to, though. I've been focusing on my video editing and my graphic designing.
That's such a good skill to have, though, because sometimes you need to hire an editor, but if you just kind of teach yourself how to do it, or you take a class, it's kind of like, you develop those skills and you're just like, no, I'm good. I got it.
Yeah. It's definitely on the list. Like my piano playing it's definitely on the list, but I mean, speaking Tagalog, that's another one that's on my list as well, but I'm closer to that than I am to learning piano. Something's just calling me, you know, to do other things, but one day, I'll be able to perform one song on the piano.
Oh, you definitely. What programs do you use for video editing?
Right now I use DaVinci Resolve. It's a free editing program. I have it on the Mac. I think you can put it on any kind of computer, but that's what I use. I've often used iMovie, which is on Mac, and that's really, really easy. I would suggest to start with some, if you don't already video edit, I would suggest to just start with something simple, like iMovie, and then just play with that, and then go to DaVinci Resolve, and kind of apply what you've learned with iMovie into Resolve. DaVinci Resolve, it's free.
DaVinci Resolve for anybody who wants to learn video editing, because we have so much time on our hands right now. What's your favorite?
It depends on the day. So I either like so my number one thing that I'm always craving for is like Asian food. So that could either be Chinese food, Filipino food, or Indian food. Really anything with soy sauce or curry. That is like right there. Popeyes is not.
Okay.
Popeyes is just, if it's there, I will definitely eat that.
What's your Popeyes?
My what?
Your Popeyes order.
I always get the 5-piece chicken tenders with extra barbecue sauce, mashed potatoes, and mashed potatoes. This only comes with one side, so. Do you like Popeyes?
I do. I don't actually eat that much fast food, but I'll eat it if someone's like, "Hey, do you want?" I'll be like, "Yeah, sure." I mean, I actually prefer Taco Bell, but people are like, "Taco Bell is nasty." I'm like, I love Taco Bell though.
It's so good.
I know.
So good.
I like because I was in California a couple of years ago, and the tacos out there, oh my gosh, just like on the side of the street, are the best tacos in life.
I know. There's
How are they
good. They're especially like like TJ Tacos and sushi is really good, like after you just had like a party or had, you know, some sort of like fun gathering. Those two things are really great. And there's a few really late there's a few sushi places that are open really late. So those are always so nice, those two things. Yeah.
Honestly, in New York City, we have like taco trucks everywhere, but it doesn't matter how many taco trucks I've been to or little Mexican spots. Nothing compares to the tacos that I've had in California. And it's just mind blowing. I'm like, how does someone in New York like not get on this wave?
Yeah, no. I lived off Elmhurst in Queens for like 3 months, and I felt a little offended when I had some pandesal. I was like, what in the world is this? It was like gentrified pandesal. I don't know. And then I had Indian food, and it just wasn't good. The only thing that I really liked, even the pizza, I mean, I'm not a big pizza person, so I was just like, I didn't really stay with that. But falafels were really good at a couple of the places. It seems like you guys have a lot of falafel trucks out there.
It's literally street meat trucks. It's like lamb, chicken, rice, and then if you don't eat meat, then it would just be falafels. But like falafels on every street corner. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So that was the only thing that was the only thing that I really, really loved to eat.
Yeah.
Other than that, here on a regular basis, Asian food is my thing, and Popeyes.
So what are your favorite Asian spots?
There's a place called Taste of the Himalayas here in San Diego. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Cuban food. My mom in Miami, so Matt's mom, she knows. every single day for maybe a month, I could probably eat white rice, black beans, and shrimp with the garlic sauce, garlic and butter.
Yes.
Man, you know what? Because like, even if I'm not hungry, I'll eat that. So that's probably my number one. But anyways, sorry, what was the question?
Cuban food, Cuban food. Oh my gosh, oh my God, Cuban food is so good. Like, oh, like now I'm hungry and I just ate. Would you be interested in would you be interested in being the lead female in a James Bond movie?
Yes, I would definitely be a Bond girl. I would love to be Bond girl.
You'd make the perfect, like, woo, perfect Bond that ends existence. Your favorite love story movie?
The Time Traveler's Wife.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that with my mom in theater, and I read the book, and it was one of the first books that I ever read that had a movie with it. So The Time Traveler's Wife, that made us cry. And I don't even remember the storyline. I just remember that it was so good. Yeah, that would be mine.
That's definitely a good pick. What about your favorite comedy movie?
I will say comedy is not my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I love laughing. I love it, but just, I don't know what it is. You know how there's like different generations of humor, you know, and I can't, I don't know. You know why? Because horror is my favorite.
Okay. Tis the season for horror movies. Like, name off like your top 5 horror movies.
Oh man. Okay. So I have to go with The Exorcist, the first one. I thought there's this other one that I saw. It was about it's a Mexican one. Like it's based on a Mexican like fable or whatever you want to call it. It's, I don't know, help me out here. It's like, it's a woman who takes the child, who steals the child. I think she drowns them or she eats them. Sorry, this is really gruesome. Anyways, it's that one. And like when you see her, you're haunted by her, and then she moves on to the next family. Anyways, there's a really great movie.
When did it come out? Like 90s, like 70s? Like, do we know time frame?
No, I think it came out recently, like not too recently. It was maybe like between 2016 and 2020.
I don't know.
I think it's called like The Woman or something, but it's in Spanish.
Okay.
It's crazy. And The Ring is really good. The Asian version, not the American version. Asian horror movies, they just do it for me. So gosh, I feel kind of weird talking about this now.
It's fine. It's just
I really like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Jessica Biel. That one was cool. So yeah, I'll stop there.
What about Halloween, Michael Myers? Because there's like 17 Halloweens. Like they play all day long now.
I know. No, I don't really like those. Those are corny to me.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. When you can really identify like the person who's haunting you or whatever, like if it's a ghost, I think it's really fun. But if it's like a person with like mommy issues, I'm like, okay, whatever.
You're like, no, if I can like see you and touch you, it's not cool. But if you're like psychological weird stuff, then like
you get
like that whole the psychological.
You get what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like Amityville Horror or something like that.
Oh yeah, I do like that one. I do like that one. But like, why was the guy going crazy? I don't know.
I don't know. They were just talking about it on TV the other night, Amityville Horror, and I was like, oh, ghosts and like weird things and like seances. It was a little intense.
And that's the thing. Those kinds that are just like connected to a true story, those ones I love too.
Yeah. Because it actually happened. And you're like, whoa, maybe it didn't happen yesterday, but it happened sometime in life. And then they put their... So Halloween is coming. We're a couple weeks away. Do you have anything planned or like anything that you do for the holiday?
No, I don't. But I would. Well, now I can't do it this year.
Yeah.
But like I usually don't do anything. I don't know. I don't do anything. But
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the year that I can dress up as the Avatar, the Last Airbender. So I have like that big blue, you know what I mean? And then like the monk outfit, like so cool.
Amazing.
One year
It's
when
gonna
I actually decide to do something, I'll do it.
it's gonna happen next year because hopefully the world will somewhat come back to normal and we can go about our normal lives that time. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, last questions because we are running out of time. Anything last minute?
Oh, Cuban food sounds so good right now.
To die for. I'm like big into Cuban sandwiches. Like I was eating them way too much. And I was like, I can't eat like 3 Cubans a week. I gotta like do like one a week because when you get to be a certain age, you just like, look down, you're like, what? What's that?
That's new.
Yeah, but what do you think about plantains?
Playing what?
Plantains?
Oh, I love plantains. They're really good. I can only have like two small
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Man,
They're filling.
but they're delicious. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something like that in the Philippines. We have, I don't know what it's called, but it's like lumpia with it's like a wrapped like the spring roll, but it has peanut butter, but it has a banana inside. And you can like dip it in caramel or put it with ice cream. It's super good.
It sounds amazing right now. So amazing. That's like I wish I could like find something like that.
I know. Do you have stuff like that at your house? Am I just teasing you with food?
No, I actually had like chicken soup recently, so we're on two opposite ends of the spectrums with that. But I had balls earlier. They're like fried dough with honey all over them.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Okay. That sounds familiar. Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, I mean they're good, but it's like once in you can't eat like that all the time because I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah,
can't
definitely.
eat honey balls during the whole quarantine because then you become a honey ball yourself.
Yeah. Like you said, you look down and you're like, oh gosh, I probably shouldn't have.
What is this?
But do you have any plans for Halloween?
Do I, to be totally honest with you, I usually go to the Halloween parade in New York City because it's massive. Have you been to the Halloween parade?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, it is to die for. Like when things get back to normal, you need to come to the New York City Halloween parade because they block off 6th Avenue, they do floats and people dress up and it's just so amazing and incredible. So last year I went with one of my good friends and there's a float. It's the Thriller float. So what they do is they blast Thriller and they have all these people in costume doing the Thriller dance and there's like mobs of them. And I told my friend, I go, oh my God, next year we gotta like follow that flow and like do the dance. So obviously there'd be a global pandemic, right? And I'm like, oh, like I wanted to get like a Michael Jackson costume, learn to dance, like be in the street, like go all out. But no, I'm probably just gonna watch Halloween and eat a bunch of candy. The parade is unfortunately canceled, but let's hope that this happens in 2021 because I'm gonna be at that parade. So hopefully we're gonna be dancing down the street to Thriller, but pretty much just movies and candy for me. So
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds really fun. That sounds like a good time.
I know. I mean, the parade is like for people who live in New York City and who have experienced the parade, you're just like, whoa, like some people go so intricate and amazing and creative with their outfits. Like people go all out for the Halloween parade. I mean, some people don't dress up. Some people, just put like cat ears on or whatever, but it's really cool to just walk around and see how people are dressed and there's lots of parties and stuff. And yeah, for anybody who has never experienced the Halloween parade in New York City, you have to experience it and hopefully you won't be able to experience it in the next couple of weeks because unfortunately it's canceled, but I would definitely put that on your bucket list for 2021 because it's fun.
San Diego has Halloween probably about twice a year. So we have Halloween in October and then we have Comic-Con. So
yes. Do you go to that?
I go and I watch. I think
Yeah.
because I'm a gigging musician, for those kinds of things, I'm hired to perform. So
Right.
for Halloween last year, I performed, I gigged, and for Comic Con, like I gig. Otherwise, I see it as work, and so I just kind of like enjoy it from a distance. I don't like being too, you know what I mean? I can be like extroverted and whatever, but I'm really just to myself. So when I don't have to gig, I like to watch it and see all the different costumes, and it's really fun. People go all out for Comic
Oh,
Con.
definitely. I've never experienced San Diego Comic Con, but like I've seen photos and videos, and it is beautiful. Like you're totally right. Like people go all out and they're just like confident and they're walking through, wherever it's held. I don't know what is it, a convention center, or it's like yeah, the San Diego Convention Center.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're just strutting their stuff and they're doing it. Like that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool. It's really
Awesome.
Avatar.
Very.
See, I could be Avatar. That during Comic
Oh
Con,
my God.
Avatar.
For your next Comic Con gig, you need to dress up as Avatar and like do your thing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Amazing. Well, Cedrice, that's all the time that we have for this evening. But thank you so much for spending your Sunday with me. I truly enjoyed our conversation. Thank you to you and Matt for sharing your special gift with us. I look forward to following your career and hopefully coming to San Diego when things are good and seeing you perform. And I really appreciate you and sharing your inspiration story with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for asking me all the questions, all the wonderful, wonderful questions to get to know me and sharing your platform with me. I really appreciate you asking us. So I hope I'll see you next time.
Yes, we will see you soon. Stay safe.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Have a good night.